My name is Darren, and we are members of something called the International Business Structuring Association, or IBSA. Essentially, it's a network of professionals that serve clients, private clients, so families that are exposed to multiple jurisdictions and they're running businesses, entrepreneurs. So it's not just restricted to tax, even though we're going to talk about tax. It'll be like investment migration, IP lawyers, insolvency, just anything to do with what the family will go through as they cross borders. And with that, I'd like to introduce you to the panel. Jose, you're going to start from your side and introduce yourself.
Thanks everyone to join this, and thanks Darren and Stepper 80 also for our participation. I'm a tax partner in Squire Patton Boggs, based in the Madrid office. I do international tax, even though I could sound partly American. It's my mom's American, my dad's Spanish, and I'm actually probably the only one not talking about U.S. taxes here, but some of the additions around that, which is always great to hear. Everyone living outside of the UAE, like myself, is excited to come to a place where Texas is a friendly environment for Texas. So you got to stay away of our tax network around how the trends, the difficulties around kind of keeping the taxes low, and especially with the U.S. citizens. So happy to be here and try to contribute to this discussion.
My name is Jimmy Sexton. I'm the founder and CEO of Esquire Group. We provide international tax and wealth planning services to affluent multinational families and help them minimize their taxes and pass their wealth to the next generation in a tax efficient, organized manner.
My name is Vince Trong. I'm based here in Gate West with a company called GSD Capital. I'm from California. I'm an American CFP, so I do financial planning, financial modeling, asset management for clients, and I've been here 16 years now.
I imagine a lot of people here are quite familiar with the UK tax situation and tax residency because there's so many UK citizens, but I was wondering from the European perspective, are there countries in your mind that are particularly tricky to deal with, that spending time there one ought to be particularly careful? You told me some things there about Spain which I wasn't aware of. Are there countries that if people are spending in Europe, I'm talking about particular countries that people ought to be particularly wary of?
I probably don't want to be, and again, I'm just saying, go on vacation and enjoy. This is
use the Instagram.
But I'm saying these are sometimes gray line cases, right? That doesn't mean everyone's smart, and the tax authorities, they could go against, they have to know their targets. You can't just go, someone spending 3 months, everyone does, right? That's not so. But again, I think all the countries are very aware of this. And one of the points that I think there's a trend in most of the authorities that, and then we're going to touch base other alternatives for tax residency and special tax regimes that I wanted to touch in. But it's interesting how the specific rules on residency are generally right. No country that you become tax resident argues your tax residency, right? Because being resident attracts some type of spending, tax residency, and now in these international tax trends, even I heard someone, a UK resident was UK national, moved to Spain and then was going to Latvia, which is a very friendly tax administration. And you can actually buy your tax residency. And again, saying, well, that was never triggered that your own tax authorities would now, the Latvian authorities are actually asking you to prove that you're actually living there to give you the tax resident certificate. And I'm like, what? Why is it in their interest? They're claiming to be tax resident there, or in Sweden, and in Spain, and France. Well, because this is the multilateral tax agreements worldwide, where you have protecting you're protecting the others. Mm-hmm. That's the trend that I'm seeing, right? That there is, that a lot of countries where you say, why would you argue that I'm telling you, I'm resident in your country. Why are you arguing? Well, because I don't want my own going someplace else and getting it, right? The thing, but again, I think that's a trend. They do say the Spanish tax and sometimes the Italian is a little more aggressive, but I wouldn't say it is a European trend in a way, and OECD standards kind of following through on that, right?
I'll go ahead and point the finger at the OECD. They've turned that as the international tax cartel. They're just trying to remove tax sovereignty from every country in the world and become an unelected taxing authority of the world.
And circling back to the U.S., I think there's a sentiment within the present administration that they should be defunded. But let's stay with Europe.
Who should be defended?
The OECD.
Well, I think the current administration is not defending the OECD.
Defunded.
Oh, defunded. Oh, yeah.